Good afternoon to all of you and welcome back to the North Cap Masterclass, a series of talks wherein you get to listen to eminent thinkers, scholars and leaders sharing their perspectives and life experiences on what's going on in the world and why it should matter to you. As I never tire of telling you, the power of a great university is its people. It attracts the finest students and finest faculty. Over the last 25 years, the North Cap University has been indeed such a place, a natural meeting ground of talented students and faculty. Our graduates are welcome in leading companies in the world and the top campuses abroad for one simple reason. We are interested in future, your future. Just look at all the specializations we offer across engineering, management, and law, and you will understand. Artificial intelligence, augmented or virtual reality, cybersecurity, cloud computing, business analytics, digital marketing, and latest trends in law and jurisprudence. We cover it all. We take great pains to offer degrees that will matter to you. And the same intent drives our recent collaboration with Arizona State University, the leading American university. Our partnership is exclusively the first of its kind in India in terms of its coverage, breadth, and depth, all designed to give you a degree that you should value over the rest of your life. And today, dear students, we are going to have a chat with your seniors, your alumni who have been there before you and who have blazed their own career tracks after leaving NCU. But who leaves the university? Nobody leaves the university. You're always, once you are with us, you're always here for life. So without waiting for anything else, let me introduce our panelists today in alphabetical order. We have Agrita Kumar from Deloitte. We have Karan Madhavan from Gemini Solutions. We have Mandeep Kalra, who's a Supreme Court lawyer. Nidhi Chaturvedi comes to us from Publicis Sapient. Pratik Ahuja from Ernst & Young. Puneet Khanduja from Mercer. And Rohan Singh from Volvo. Welcome to you all to your very own university. And may I begin by inviting each one of you to give a brief introduction to our students about yourself, how your life journey has been. Let's begin with Agrita because you have the first mover advantage thanks to your name.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for a very warm welcome. I welcome you all to NCU. And a brief about me is that my name is Agrita Kumar, as sir has mentioned, and I graduated from NCU at that time called ITM University in 2014, and I did my electronics and communication engineering. And after graduating from NCU, I worked for a year with Deloitte, after which I went for my master's to the US and I completed my MS in electrical and computer engineering from Georgia Tech. And after finishing that, I again started working with Deloitte, and I have been there since February of 2017 now. And one of the reasons why I'm here where I am right now is because of the professors and the guidance and everything which I learned at NCU. So I welcome you all once again and all the best for your journey ahead.
Thank you. I guess the next in line is Karan Madhavan.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. So my name is Karan Mundhavan. I joined ITM University in 2011 and I graduated in 2015. The journey has been amazing. When I joined, like my always passion used to be like I used to do a lot of public speaking skills. Like I used to explore momentum, celebration, and a lot of other fests. I used to be part of a lot of clubs, professional clubs that used to have Computer Society of India, ASQ, and then a lot many which were there at our campus. Aside that, I also used to study sometimes. I fairly graduated with a good marks, and that was all because of the faculties who were there to support us, guide us throughout the process. Post that, I basically joined. I was campus placed at Gemini Solutions, where I am still working there from past 7 years. and I'm planning to retire directly from here itself, as my friends say. Then I did my executive MBA last year from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade in Hoskas, Delhi. So I think that the undergrad journey that always that someone always inspires throughout that remains with him or her throughout the life, and then the lessons that we learned there, they're always there with you along. So thanks for calling me back. Although I have been like touching base with my university again and again. I mean, this is again another platform. I feel lucky to be back. Thank you.
Thank you. Mandeep, let's hear from you.
Thank you, sir. Very good afternoon to all. It feels great to come back to the same place where I started from. And being the second batch from the School of Law, it was a tough as well as an easy journey at the same time. Tough, of course, because there were n number of opportunities under the umbrella. But at the same time, many opportunities called in for more competition. And that is something that I believe my university and our university imbibed in us to fight for the competition and at the same time win a competition. I'm looking forward to today's session and to all the students from the School of Law as well as other branches. Feel free. I don't think we are promoting or in any way talking about a selective branch today, but we are all collectively a university's alumni. So feel free to ask and speak to as many as us as you would want to during the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mandeep. Nidhi?
Thank you, sir. It's good to be back, as everyone said. My name is Nidhi Chaturvedi. I've done my MBA and graduated from the North Cap University in 2016, working as a senior associate learning and talent development in Publicis Sapient. Been with this company for approximately 5 years. I'm also a part of the next generation leadership team, working with our CEO, Nigel Vaz, and looking at how do we create high performance culture in Publicis Sapient. I think, as everyone said, organizations, universities, institutions are just enablers. And that's what the North Cap University has been in my case. So thank you for bringing us here. And I'm happy to take up any questions that come along the way.
Great. Pratik.
Hey everyone, this is Pratik this side. I graduated from the North Cap University in 2019. And I still regret that I have like a couple of years left in me to be back to the NCU because it was such an amazing experience over there. So one experience that I would like to share myself with you guys before I introduce myself. So back in 2018, the first campus placement company was in our campus was Deloitte. So when I got rejected by Deloitte at that time, Mr. BK Gupta was the head of the School of Professional Attachment. He called up me in his office and he told me that, are you even able to introduce yourself to anyone? So, and right now, like sitting in front of you guys, it's just blissful. So I'm extremely happy to answer everyone's questions and just looking forward for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratik. It's glad to see you not having those kinds of concerns anymore.
Yeah. So I think the North Cap University was a paramount factor for that. Giving so many presentations in so many like different classes and having the best professors was a blissful memory.
Wonderful. Puneet?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Firstly, thank you for the warm welcome. And I just want to say hi to all the panelists and people who are listening to us. And actually, I graduated twice from the university because I did my BBA and I did my MBA both from the ITM and now North Cap University. So it was a pleasure and a great ride for me. And apart from this, I've been really active in co-curricular activities, and NCU actually gave me a platform to start and explore that. So I'm really looking forward for this session, and anybody who's interested to know about marketing, this college, co-curricular, more than happy to answer. Thank you once again.
Rohin, you're probably the youngest and also the last in the roll call.
Very well, yes. And with that, I would like to thank you for that warm welcome. And of course, a very good afternoon. And I want to start with giving a very, very hearty congratulations to the North Cap University with this amazing partnership with the Arizona State University.
Can we see you, Rohin? I think your video is off.
Actually, I don't have my video available at the moment. I'm trying to get that sorted out.
Okay. Let's continue.
In the meantime, please bear with me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, again, as I was saying, I just want to give a very hearty congratulations to the North Cap University with their amazing partnership with the Arizona State University. I think hearing that piece of news in the recent times, I was so proud to hear that. And being a recent 2020 COVID graduate, it's so good to be back, and it feels like I almost never left. And yeah, another thing, I really want to congratulate the freshers. Congratulations on being here. You've made it this far. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, as I was introduced, my name is Rohan Singh. I'm age 23. I did my computer science engineering BTech program at the North Cap University. As I said, I graduated in 2020. So that was pretty recent. And in fact, I was one of those students who had to experience his very semester online. So I actually experienced that whole shift, and it was pretty interesting the way our university tackled the whole pandemic. And I've always been inclined to science. Um, I've been very inclined to sports, particularly football. I've played at state level, even played for our college school team with the interdepartmental tournaments that were organized by a university. And alongside that, my batch, and if NorthCap knows me, I have actually known to be around the stage a lot. I've been super inclined to participate in extracurricular activities, and I've been known to host a lot of the fests in Momentum and a few conferences here and there as well. And with that, I actually, in my college debut, made a keen forte to be on the stage and actually find my signature and find myself somewhere in that journey. And with that, I want to tell you all that, along this journey, I do have a lot of tips to share with you as this call goes down. But, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And thank you for having me here. Really looking forward to the discussion.
It's wonderful to have you, all of you, back here, at least virtually.
Yeah.
Since we seem to have a majority of engineers on this panel, let me begin by asking all the engineers, and others want to pitch in there, they can too. All the engineers, what are some of the common factors that you experienced at NCU, which gave meaning to the whole engineering and technology in your life?
Can I go first?
Yeah.
So basically, what we have been doing, like I'll share what I do from the other side of the table. So when we come back at the campus for campus placements, we have been like hiring from, like I was the second batch hired from ITM University at that time, and now we have been since coming back for hiring again. So I always look for only one very basic thing, is if you are having a clarity on your fundamentals. So that's something that I feel that if someone is like having strong feet on his fundamentals, and when I look back how I used to do and how my fundamentals were built very strong initially from the campus itself, so that brings me that confidence on how I can like compete along the industry. So I think fundamentals, building up the fundamentals throughout is a very core function I believe that NCU gave me, and thanks for that.
I can share my views on that. So for NCU, and especially for engineering, one thing which is very important is that, yes, you have your theoretical concepts. You have to understand that how things work. But at the same time, it is very important to have that practical knowledge as well, because learning concepts is one thing, but the way you actually understand them is when you actually see that what happens, how do these things work. And one of the good things about NCU curriculum in itself is that it's focused on theoretical concepts, but at the same time, they give you a lot of opportunities to have those via the practicals and with well-equipped labs where you can go in and actually see that how these concepts that you have learned in your theoretical classes actually work. And that is very important from engineering point of view. And at NCU, the curriculum has helped, and even the teachers teachers will tell you that, okay, go and do this, maybe try this out, and you'll have a better understanding of what we are teaching you in class. So that is one thing. And at the same time, with the internships and also the opportunities to work in labs is another thing which helps there. So I think that is a very good thing about NCU, that it doesn't only focus on theoretical concepts, but also make sure that you get that practical knowledge as well.
I think I can go next. So I didn't realize it in my 4 years of engineering, like what difference I'm getting from NCU. But finally, when I joined Ernst and Young, there were like people from different universities, different colleges who joined in my batch. And trust me, there was a significant difference in how we guys adopted to corporate environment than the people from other colleges and universities. I mean, people from NCU are actually like benefited in a different manner in the corporate world. The way, how quick I adjusted to everything was extremely nice. So that's all, because we have a lot of presentations, we have a lot of virtual sessions. These kind of sessions are not organized by every college or university. It's a good platform, a good podium for everyone to speak and just take your questions.
So I'm thinking when you passed out and started working, you must have met other employees, other students from other campuses, perhaps more reputed campuses. Did you feel belittled, or did you feel that you were lesser than students coming from other campuses which are more brand names than NCU?
Not even 1%, sir. Not even 1%, I would say. That's just a theoretical myth. Like from a better college, a better person will pass out. That's just a theoretical myth.
I really want to add to what Prateek just said. I agree. And when you talk about being belittled or anything of that sort, I have this firm belief that firstly, no matter where you study, other than the name, it honestly comes down to how much can you extract out of the college and its resources. And talking about NCU, the one thing that I am so appreciative of is that NCU enables you to, go that extra mile and extract as much as you want to. So as a student, it is entirely your responsibility to go out and get as much as you want out of the college. And likely so, they have resources and especially faculty that is, who encourage you to come and ask questions, to actually extract those resources, to use those resources, to get more out of them. And the fact that NCU enables you to do that, I think somewhere or the other, I can speak for all the fellow panelists over here and for any alumni. I think we all are thankful somewhere that, we don't find that difficulty to adapt because we've been readied for the situation and because NCU enabled us to go that extra mile and, find something extra, squeeze out the resources. And I'm really glad for that.
Yeah.
Just
And
to
I just
add
want to
on-
add to that. Sorry, go ahead.
Please, after you.
No, I think I just wanted to add to that because I completely echo with what Rohan and Prateek have mentioned. But the fact that the institute has provided us with an ecosystem and they have understood that only 10% of learning happens through classroom, the rest 90% is about the ecosystem that the institute provides you. And that was a unique proposition for us when we went to the corporate world and when we started to adopt to our professional network. That ecosystem really helps, and that's something that I really wanted to call out, that with seminars, with aspects of ASQ, with the mock interviews, all of that we were able to apply our learning back to the work and to the application. That really helped. And not for once when we went to the corporate world, we felt that we were coming from North Cap University and others were from different top universities, because of the proposition that this university really brings with respect to the course and with respect to the top class faculty.
Wonderful.
I may just add on, I think gone are those days where the name matters. More what matters is the platform and the opportunity to showcase your talent. The wildest example I can think of is that how many sons and daughters of good actors become good actors. It is one's own effort that will make you something, and the platform that will ultimately help in becoming something. And specifically in the law background, even till date, a stereotypical approach is in place where a university's name or a university's background is seen into picture. And at our time, when of course we were in the starting in the second batch, that time the university, at least in the law school, was not known in the entire field. But today that gap has been covered, specifically because of the location, more specifically because of the free environment, as my friend Nidhi mentioned, and at the same time, the opportunities. Keeping in mind the ratio of faculty and students, the individual attention that is given to each and every student, Not just that, I have also experienced that even the library books are maintained in a ratio so that everyone has an equal opportunity to go through the resources, utilize the resources. And at the same time, someone who wants to prosper, someone who wants to put in the effort, the platform is there. So definitely there'll be never a complaint or a hitch that you will face, keeping in mind that an opportunity or platform was not.
I think I just want to add something apart from whatever everyone said. And I think also one of the most important point which the North Cap has is it's a multidisciplinary university. I mean, you have management, you have law, you have engineering. So I remember being a management student for 5 years, BBA and MBA. I got an opportunity to have some subjects from the engineering and law field. So today, when I look at other management people, when I meet them outside, I do have an edge because I understand the basics of both the world. And also, from my network standpoint, it's not that in my professional network I only know MBAs or BBAs or management people. I have a fair network with the engineers, the law students, even on the panels. I know a lot of them here too. So I think this is the kind of edge which North Cap definitely gives compared to other universities.
Mandeep, you have, within a very short space of time, you have gone on to practice in Supreme Court. That's not a small thing to do. Can you speak to how much of it, what did you have to do yourself? What did NCU do so that your journey was accelerated?
Definitely, sir. I think that is a very pertinent question to put at this time. For a reason that I am adding to what Nidhi said, that the curriculum is designed in such a manner where the industry and the curriculum and what we study in our books, we are given an opportunity to apply that after every 6 months, at the end of every semester, at least in law, I would say. We had at least about 4 to 8 weeks of internship. So in a way, I saw myself 5 years ahead of many law schools, because the practical experience that they would have got at the end of 5th year or in the final year, I was getting that from the very first semester. So the journey for me did not begin in the final year of law school, but it began from the very first day. And that is the reason I feel that since the learning and the opportunity, specifically, as I mentioned in my earlier talk, that the location is a big advantage for the lawyers. Being in Delhi NCR in the legal profession is a big boon. So utilizing that along with the cooperation tendered by the university in exercising as many as internships we can, even though there were occasions where the internships were for an extended period. Even in those times, there was extreme cooperation by the university. Plus, the curriculum is a mix. From day one, the internship criteria is defined. So I think all those things add on, and at the second last year and the final year, the assistance rendered by the School of Professional Attachment, or I should say the placement cell. Being from the second batch, even then there were n number of opportunities that we could get and get placed in good law firms across the country. So somewhere down the line, I think it is a mix of the student's perspective and the university that has to offer. But at the end of the day, it is not something that the university can feed in a single student. Ultimately, it is we who have to put in or utilize that opportunity to make the best out of it. And if that approach is there, each and every one, and I mean, I was there in this orientation of the law school few days back. I would just cite one line from there. I told them that a good CV does not take 3 days, 5 days, 6 days, or 10 days. It takes 5 years. So that understanding and that knowledge of of beginning your CV from day one is something that we were told on our day one. Only then we could have planned in those 5 years. Hence, I think the practical oriented approach is something that really helped me.
So your journey starts early. If whatever you are today is a reflection of whatever you did or did not do 3, 4, 5 years back. So if you find yourself underprepared, then the time to start is now. is what we are hearing from Mandeep. Coming to management professionals, and as a management professional myself, so this question has a personal connect. How was it when you started working after your degree? What were your first few days?
Sure, so I can start. I think the university really helped me, as I said, enable me, but it also accelerated my journey because I was also witnessing that my ramp up time when I started to work in the university went down drastically because I was prepared right from the beginning when I started to, do my MBA. The world was no different for me because I was prepared. I knew what the organization wanted to offer me. And what the North Cap University really helped me understand is that I don't want to limit myself to only one area. Say my expertise was HR, to not limit my understanding to one area, but because of the fact that MBA was diverse, you could also understand finance aspects and marketing as well. So nothing really changed or has been different for me because I was prepared right from day one, as Mandeep said, when I joined the North Cap University. And when I went into the corporate world, it was seamless. I was assimilated well, I was accelerated, and the ramp up time that usually somebody else takes was reduced because I was enabled itself in the university. So yeah, that was for me.
About
Right, so I can also add, in fact, I want to take one step back and I want to talk about my internship, my first big corporate exposure. When I was in my MBA, we of course have to do a compulsory internship. That's the most important part of an MBA. And I was interning with PepsiCo. And I remember when I got my internship letter that, okay, you have to intern with PepsiCo, I thought, okay, I've made it. Now this is the thing. And I'll be going and sitting in a swanky office in PepsiCo and I'll be having a gala time for 2 months. I remember I went to the office in the morning at 8:30 a.m. and I was sitting outside the reception for at least 2.5, 3 hours because the one who had to come and meet me, he was busy in a meeting, and I was like, how unprofessional they are. But that's how it works. You're just an intern, and I was having thinking that okay, I'm an intern, and with PepsiCo. So, anyways, another 1 hour passed away, and instead of me, getting a seat in the office, they asked me to take the metro and go to Delhi because I was in sales and marketing and I had to go and do a beat ride, which was going and understanding the market. I was like, what? And then I got to know that 2 months I'll be on the road. So I still remember when I was taking the metro from the Guru Dronacharya metro and I was seeing the PepsiCo office and I was like, okay, life has started. It's not so again, like Mandeep and everybody was saying, it's not that you get an opportunity. Maybe the organization or the college will give you the opportunity, but then you have to manifest it. You have to work towards it. So yeah, I think it was great for me. I was glad to be interning with PepsiCo, and I think NCU really made me capable to go and be and understand how you need to work in an organization.
I was myself after my MBA. I was a lowly salesman after 6 years of my MBA. Peddling IT services to people, those who cared to listen to me. Okay, so I know how that feels. How important is internship in the development of a student? And this question to any and all of you. Nowadays, I see, especially in COVID times, students may take internship little lightly because you are working from home, etc. And even otherwise, it's only 2 months. So physically also, I see cases where students don't feel so serious about it. What would be your advice on internships?
I would like to pick this up. So actually, thanks for pressing the painful button in me, because like these days in the IT market, I mean, it's really like going really bullish. I mean, if people are really switching across firms, and especially being an intern. Like I'll share my experience first. So when I joined Gemini Solutions as an intern around 6.5 years back, so I always had that want to learn thing because I was from NCU, and like and must say, like, I mean, that's something that I built and kind of I learned throughout my life, not just I say NCU. I mean, throughout the life, I learned the thing. I want to learn something and I want to explore the areas outside the campus. So I'll say that these days people have stopped giving that regard to what they have achieved as an intern in any of the firms. Like you were just mentioning, sir, when you were initially starting the career. So even when it was mentioning then how you started with. So I think the first job or the first internship experience that anyone gets, he or she should cherish that and should always value it. Whereas now people are losing those values and not taking that very seriously, because they're having of this the coming of this notion that not this opportunity, they might explore a few more, but that's not true. I mean, I'll say this is more of a destiny thing, that once destiny is giving you one internship, cherish it. I mean, value it and learn a lot from it. Because something, as like Mandeep very, very nicely mentioned, that it's not the opportunity, it's just around the opportunity that you get from the place where you are in. And ultimately, it's you who have to build yourself through that opportunity. So I think that's the best thing I would like to re-quote Mandeep's pointer. So I think everyone, at NCU, you'll get a number of opportunities, definitely. That's what SP has been working hard for. And I must say, I mean, I'll say the companies that used to come at our time, I mean, 7 years ago, I mean, they were much lesser than what we have today. So obviously the level has ever increased, and but we should value and we should cherish the opportunity that we got as an intern in any of the firms.
I just wanted to add something to what Karan said. So we're all talking about how and highlight this. A lot of people actually take it for granted, and one of the main reasons is because everyone is kind of infused into the system that okay, I have the next 4 years to survive. These are the things that I have to do. One of them is internship. Now, in that time, a lot of people look at this internship tag as though, okay, I have to go sit and I have to just live through it. And when people say cherish these times and actually experience the real exposure there, what that really means is don't just do it for the sake of it. Don't do it for the CV as well. Actually relish the corporate experience exposure that you get. Relish the experience that you get hands-on on a lot of technologies that you only study about in class or just do practicals about. Seeing it all come together in a real working world is, I'm going to say this, it's beautiful. So again, just highlight the fact that don't do it for granted just for the sake of your CV. Definitely, when people say cherish it, think of it as an opportunity and make the best out of it. And the good fortune of being an NCO is that you'll be presented with plenty of opportunities. And not only that, you yourself can go seek for opportunities and NCO will still continue to support you. The question lies that do you want to make the best out of this or not?
Yeah. And I just want to add two things to what I think everybody has covered. I think what internship really did for me, and I remember my time in Jabong when I did my internship like about 8 years ago, 7.5 years ago, was it does two things apart from all that everyone has covered. Is there's a lot of difference between the perception and the outcome. And for you to really fill that gap, you need to see the mirror, and that's what internship really shows you. It helps you really unleash what your, in terms of your self-awareness, what are your strengths, and that's what internship did for me as well. That whatever I was thinking about myself, when I actually went to the internship, I could see what are some of the strengths that I need to sustain, and what are some of the areas of development that I can then improve on and build a very good career out of it. And the second thing, I think, apart from everything that has got covered, is your professional network that it builds, which, nothing else really substitutes for that, because the network that you build through your internship really continues in your professional journey. So that's why I think internships are something that shouldn't be taken lightly, and it really adds value to your professional spectrum.
That, sorry, Agatha, after you.
Thank you, Mandeep. So I think just adding to what Nidhi and Rohan mentioned, first thing is, yes, to see it work in especially for engineers, we learn the concepts, we do the practicals, but when we go out to intern with not even good companies, but at a company where you can get your hands dirty, you can really work on projects and create things using the concepts which you have learned in the university. That is very important. And at the same time, plus, yes, you will build a professional network, but at the same time, you can also find mentors there. So you can find people outside of your university. Yes, you have your professors. Yes, you have your peers with whom you can learn, but at the same time, you can find mentors who can tell you what is going on in the industry as well, can tell you that what are the different things that you can explore. And that also becomes a very, very important part of your journey, of your professional life going forward. Because after you graduate, you can also reach out to them to understand that if there are some opportunities outside of what the university does. And that is that is also a very helpful thing. So at this age where we are living, where we are at right now, networking is very important. So you create a network in your university, but internship also is an avenue which you can explore to create those opportunities, to create those relationships, and also find good mentors who can help you in your professional journey. So that is very important important thing which you get from internship.
Absolutely.
Mandeep, you want to say something?
Yes, I was just adding on.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that most of the students, I mean, the majority of the audience listening to us are freshers who have just passed out of school. So I will just simplify all what my friends have said. That, you know, studying in classroom is like a net practice in cricket. How many ever sixes you hit, how many ever boundaries you hit, only your teammates know, only your coaches know. But when you play a match like an ODI or a 2020, the entire stadium knows who you are. So if you can perform in that match, the industry will look up to you. All those networking things will follow. But the primary focus has to be on performance. I mean, it cannot be that, you know, just on the basis of networking. Of course, exceptions are there, but performance is the primary motive and the primary agenda that you ought to take up. And when can you take up? When you have a platform. The platform in this scenario for all the branches is internship. And specifically, when I say internship is something which the university promotes, invention is something which the university promotes. I recall of my time, I mean, of course, it wasn't applicable on us because as lawyers, we couldn't invent anything. But there were funds and there were financial benefits that all my engineer friends would agree to. On that time, if they would have taken a project, I mean, in the time we graduated, if there was a project taken up by them, and there were some research studies done by them and it was put to industrial use, that time VC gave some financial benefits. So it is not just that, you know, they are trying to motivate you to perform, but there's also financial benefits that are coming along. That is the force and that is the energy by which the university empowers you to drive to the best extent and realize the best extent in you. At the same time, it is not just about curriculum or it is not just about academics. There are so many events within the university which make sure that you are growing in an overall manner. One of our friends, one of the person viewing the present webinar, put this question to all of us. I mean, of course, Puneet has answered it on the chat box, but I would just want to spend a few seconds there. That he had the question was that how do we build confidence in public speaking, right? It is as good as making a balance while cycling. Till the time you can't paddle yourself without a supporting wheel, till such time you can't learn cycling. Similarly, till the time you can't get into a swimming pool and drown 1 or 2 times, you can't learn swimming. Similarly, till the time you don't start speaking in public, with each time you speak, there is a % of improvement. And trust me, brother, I was exactly the same. I was too of course, forget college. I think about my school. During the school times, the first 2-3 students in that line of assembly were made to come on the dais and then, you know, recite that prayer and all those things in my school time. So I purposely used to stand at the end so that I am not called upon the dais to address the entire school children as a part of the national anthem or whatever school prayer. From that till today, I feel that this change, maybe a few %, has been brought with each time that I speak. It is not a one-day task. It is not something that one can teach someone else. It is that you have to get into it and then learn it yourself. Yes, Puneet.
Yeah, thank you. Milanjan, I think personally, I feel this is not only a good, but a very important question, which is about internship. And especially coming from the management space, and anybody listening who is interested or is taking part in management now with a BPA or MBA. Internship is very important, like very, very important. Don't take it for granted, and don't look for money. To be very honest, a lot of people, they come to me and they say, okay, can you give me internship? And the second question is, what is the kind of money your company can give? And I tell them, hang on, internship is not about making money, it is about experience. Don't think what brand are you getting, don't think, look for the job profile. You should feel blessed if you're getting an opportunity to work, and take as many opportunities as possible. It should not be that, okay, in my MBA I just need to do one internship. I have 5 internships in my CV, small, big, medium organizations, and all have helped me to be where I am today. And still, I look for opportunities apart from, work, where I can co-create, collaborate with other people, and learn. So internship, I think, is very, very important. And I would like to give an example of my best friend from this university. His name is Yatin. He's in Canada right now. I remember a Gartner came for engineering, and this guy was helping the placement cell to organize the entire process. And he walked up to the recruiter who was there to recruit engineers. He just said that, I'm interested. This is my profile. Let me know in case is there any opportunity. And guess what? He got selected, of course, after an interview, and ultimately that internship converted into an full-time job with Gartner. And we all know what Gartner stands for. Imagine a company came to NCU for engineers, but this guy from MBA, just through an internship, he got a job. So that is the power of an internship. So don't underestimate it. Don't look for money. Look for opportunities, and I'm sure it is going to help you. So yeah, thank you.
And just to add on, Nidhi is say from the same batch as Jatin, and Nidhi at that time had better grades. So trust me, grades is not the only criteria for any person to choose.
And by the way, Nidhi and Yatin are married.
I wanted to say that maybe a lady luck, Puneet. It may not be.
maybe.
Grades don't define you. You should have an academic balance. That's important. I had like about a 9.2 CGPA. I'm not saying that wasn't important. That definitely added value. But eventually, as Mandeep and everyone said, it's your performance. So yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that grades don't define you doesn't mean that you don't focus on them.
Exactly. You should. Important. That's what I'm saying. That
the companies do have those cutoffs. So yes, grades are important, but make sure that you are learning from it. It is not that
exactly
you're getting your grades and you don't even know the answers to half of the questions. Don't do
and practical knowledge is important. So
yeah, and also just to add, if students look out for this option, that how should we and how can we get internships? See, honestly, no college can get you thousands of internships. There's so many students. It is your responsibility to, you go to any great college, any, you name it, IITs, and the students they themselves, reach out to, of course, they have a benefit of a good network. So that is what you need to do. I don't know how many of you are there on LinkedIn. Have a profile, and I'm sure you are on Instagram, Facebook. That's equally important. I'm too very active there, but I'm equally active on my LinkedIn. And guys, I'm not kidding. I got Mercer through LinkedIn. I was placed to a different organization from NCU, but Mercer is a global company. It happened to me through LinkedIn. So be on LinkedIn, connect with us, connect with other alumni. I still do that. I still find people who graduated from this university to have a good network. And find yourself whatever you're getting. This is a virtual world, and especially after COVID, things have become so free, and you can reach out to anybody. Of course, you should know how to reach out. You can't just enter into anyone's personal space, but know how to reach out and get good opportunities, guys. Yeah.
But just an insider advice for all who are listening to us, especially the fresh ones. You should definitely track Puneet on Instagram and Facebook, who is a very resourceful person, not from today, from the time we know him. Any event of any department, he was the one to be contacted. So definitely, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind sharing his handle in some time, so that all of you can reach him. At the same time, yes, one more thing that I recall of, and I feel all of my friends here would agree, is that almost every department, leave one or two, in the university is approachable. They will recognize what you speak. They will recognize your request, and they will make it change to the maximum extent possible. And for a student, being a part of such a big family, that's very important, the right of being heard. if you are able to bring about a change, if you're able to, say that the class timings or whatever it may be, there is at least a scope of you being heard. It may be the lowest authority possible. It may be the highest authority possible. They will at least consider your request. The decision may be any. Unlike most universities, because I've heard in today's time, even today, I recruit young lawyers, and there I see that there are complaints that the university never listened to them. So therefore, having an atmosphere which is more like friendly and having an atmosphere where there is a two-side communication, that's equally important. So, and these are the time for you to make the most out of it.
This is a question that keeps coming up again and again. I do my first degree. Should I start working? Should I work for some years first and then go for my master's or the higher degree? Or should I just finish it all and then start working? This is a dilemma that many students face. What would be your advice? Some of you have started working and then did your master's. Some of you, like Puneet, did one run and then started working. So what would be your advice?
So I think, to be very honest, though people do say that, you should definitely, and I also vouch for it, that you should do your graduation and then you should work for some time and then go for your master's. Master's should not be just a choice. It should be a decision because it's a very important part. Also, I think more important is you should really know yourself, what you want in life. I mean, you should not think, okay, my friend is going for a job, let me go for it. Or, okay, my friend is going for a post-graduation after the degree, okay, let me go into it. I think it should be a very personal choice too, that what is your long-term vision? What is your long-term plan? I mean, if somebody wants to just be an entrepreneur, then, okay, you can get your degree and then again go. If somebody, wants to, because a lot of times I've seen, especially in the management side, people come to me and they say, in which field should we do, MBA, HR, marketing? And I'm like, how am I supposed to answer that? It's I don't know whether you're good in stats, maths, or marketing, or people skills, or what. So the idea is you need to really explore yourself. If you've not done that in school, graduation is the time. I mean, and that is the point of getting involved in other activities apart from just, books. Go out, explore yourself, know yourself, and know your journey where you want to reach. But yeah, I can say, if you don't get that answer still, you can, definitely, go and work for some time so that you understand, okay, what is that is required by the industry. Do you possess those skills, or you were thinking that, okay, I am good in HR, but I'm not. I'm actually a marketer. Or maybe, I think I'm a finance guy, but no, I don't understand numbers when I go to the corporate world. So yeah, you need to explore that yourself.
And yes, it's important to explore yourself. And one way, as Puneet mentioned, is to explore different opportunities. If you find a job right after your graduation and you feel that you don't know the answer, that whether you want to do it or not, take it up. Maybe be there for some time. Within the organization also, you may start with one department, but there are hundreds of different departments there. You can talk to people, understand from them that what are the different types of work which are available. And that will help you answer that question, because it's not always easy to know what you want to do next. And because when you do your master's, your graduation, your BTech or BBA, they are a generic degree which give you an understanding of different topics, right? But when you go for your master's, it becomes a little specific. So to know that answer, you'll have to look outside. You'll have to look outside the university to see that what are the different types of opportunities available. And one way of doing that is maybe talking to people, maybe picking up an opportunity, maybe learning about different organizations which are out there. So do that and take time out for it. It is very, very important at that time. And I think there is a question in the chat, and I know Nidhi has already responded to that. But when you start your journey, you are like, when you start your engineering, you are just not focused on one subject, right? There you will be exposed to a subject from mechanical, from computer science, everything, right? So learn about those things. If there is a subject which interests you, maybe talk to the professors, talk to your peers who are in different branches to understand that what kind of learnings are there in their department. And that is how you can build your profile. That is how you can understand that what do you want to do next. So start from the first year, start exploring, start looking outside that what is available in the world. It's very important.
I just wanted to add something there. I want to refer back to something that our fellow panelist, Mr. Mandeep, said. He mentioned something about it's not that, your CV that you build in 3 days or 2 days or 10 days. It actually matters about the CV that you build for those 5 years. So, what Puneet and what Agatha have been telling you so far, I think to encapsulate everything and to convey this message to especially our freshers is that don't forget that you're building a story from the moment you step foot into college, or actually even from your school. It's a story that you're building. You're investing your time, resources, and whatnot. And you're building a story that you use to finally sell yourself when you put yourself out there in the real world. And when you do this, this will also help you make a very informed decision. I also stand for the fact I've in fact gone through the same dilemma, and I do stand for the fact that probably ideally straight after your graduation you should give yourself more time, if let's say you're not clear, to actually find yourself and find your signature. You do that and you're able to take a more calculated decision as to where and if you want to do further studies somewhere or the other, because it is a huge investment, it is a lot of planning, and it is your life at the end of the day. So you have to take all of this into careful consideration. And putting together everything that I've just said, I feel like this could really help a lot of people make a good decision and save a lot of time and energy. Yeah.
So much of knowledge coming in for each one of you. It doesn't mean that, today you close all your joyful ventures and you start studying just to ensure that you get the best in your life. I mean, that is not what we expect any one of you to do. The point that we are trying to make is that, yes, it is a transition phase. Yes, you will take time. Yes, there has to be fun. Yes, these days will be remembered throughout your life. But the priorities have to be defined. If you approach a situation or the entire 4 years, or you wait for the right time to come, the right time, my friend, will never come. So therefore, have those priorities defined. If you want to enjoy for 10 days, 1 year, 6 months, 7 months, do that. But once you are done, once that time is defined, the time is over, to focus on your other priorities too. And if you do that, I'm telling you, even the topper, as Nidhi was mentioning, she was 9.12. I have seen her. She was into so many co-curricular activities. She was in the American Society for Quality. She was a part of Momentum, so many things. It is not that toppers have to study every day, every minute, every hour. It is just that you need to have a calculated approach. Plus, the formula, I think, if any one of you can adopt, give 10 to 15 minutes to every topic before it is taught in class. For example, if a subject or any whatever is being taught the next day and you know that this is something the faculty member will bring in, give it a cursory read 5 minutes one day before. And trust me, you won't want to read the subject again before the exam. It will be so well registered in your mind.
Absolutely. And just as the summary of what Mandeep said, right time, right choices will really help you get there. Keep yourself at the center and trust me, things will flow automatically. So just a summary of what he said.
I would like to tangent. Sorry, sir, to tangent your question a bit from when should we do, and rather I would want to tell people a kind of an advice that what should we do. I mean, many of our co-panelists just said that you need to explore yourself. But what I have been observing from past few years is that people just want to do an MBA PGDM. That's kind of a template that you have after a BTech you have to do an MBA PGDM. That's not true. I mean, I'll say if even 70% of people are doing it, I'll say out of them 40 are not experiencing it. That defeats the purpose of doing it, right? So I think I have been getting a lot of queries that which college should we choose for PGDM, which college should I choose for MTech from a foreign university because my friend did it. The decision has not to be made because someone close you did it and he or she went successful. It's your success path which has to be varied from your experience, from your attention, and that absolutely varies from your I'll say the graph of learning. So definitely that's all dependent on you.
Disha has asked a question that I was anyway wanting to ask. how do you crack a good company at a placement? Any tips?
I had the worst experience, so I would want to take this up.
Sure, sure.
So I sat for roughly around 13 or 15 companies when it was campus placement going on. Like I was one of the very active members in like many fests, etc., like all the clubs. But when it came to placement, everybody was saying, you have a good personality, you have a good public speaking, etc. You're always there on stage. Definitely, Deloitte is going to pick you up. And I was not able to crack many exam sheets as well. So the aptitude test, I was like failing many of them. But the key is nothing but okay. Someone said, "How will you get Germany?" Okay, sorry, I'll answer that question later. So I thought that's related. So the key, there's no as such key template for cracking any interview. I'd say it is just some, as I initially mentioned, fundamentals. I very much focus on that fundamentals, which you have to be focused from a very first day in the college. In addition to it, build your personality, explore the areas. Like Punit was also mentioning that you just don't have to go and just open the books and start cramming today itself. That I'm very much motivated, so I'll like finish all the curriculum today itself. No, you have to explore throughout. Your personality, your like educational, obviously your subject areas where you have been teaching since all throughout your curriculum, or whatever 2 years or 4 years of course that you are enrolled in. But I think that varies from person to person how he builds himself, and definitely trust me, you'll find your right company. I am really lucky to be there at Gemini, because I when I joined, Gemini was just like less than 100 people, and now we are like around 700 people. So I think that I was lucky enough, I fortunate enough to be at this place, and I think I found that company somewhere. Although it was a campus place, but I found myself to be there. I feel myself fit to be there. So I pick up the next question, which is there for me is only. So how has been your journey with Gemini Solutions? Is there anything common between Gemini and NCO that helped you grow their excel during initial days? Okay. So I think that comes back to the same answer that I was giving regarding the internship. So yes, the internship period that I had, I would just want to like share one of the experience that I had on the very first day I joined Gemini. Uh, I saw one of my schoolmates sitting in front of me on the joining day, and like as I think initially there was a question that if if the educational expertise is more, if your subject matter knowledge is more, or there are some other traits that should be considered. So he was the topper, and he was pretty meritorious, top grades, head boy of the school, topper of the school, and we were like sitting on the same seat when we joined the same company with the same package. So definitely, if he was a meritorious, he got into a very high ranked college in India. But definitely, it doesn't matter. It all matters how we explore ourselves and what we do throughout our 4 years, and definitely how you polish yourself throughout the journey. How is, to answer the next part of the question, how is Gemini versus NCO? It's altogether different areas. I mean, if you're talking about the implementation of knowledge that I learned, yes, it is very much there. What I learned throughout my college, I very much implemented. So people say that college knowledge is never applied. It's not true. It is.
And I think just one thing to add on top of it, and I know that this is not something that you have to start right now, but a very important thing, and I think Rohan also mentioned, is to create that story. And that story is something which you'll put on your CV as well. So another important thing is that when you go in front of companies, you will have a CV, and that is the document, that is the story which you are telling the recruiters, right? So know everything which you have there, whatever you are putting there, and it should be something which you can back up. Like if there is some project which you have worked on, then you should know that what was there in that project. It should not be just that there was a fancy name to a project and I put it there, but I cannot even explain that what I did in that project, right? So you should be your genuine self. You should be able to create that story, and you should tell that what you have learned over these years. So that is very important when you sit for your placements. And but again, as I said, that is something which will come later. But when you are starting your journey and when you are starting to create that story, keep that thing in mind as well. That's why It is very important that you learn as you go. You learn whatever you are working on. It should not just be for the sake of it. Learn everything, but at the same time, enjoy it as well. So I think that is my 2 cents on that. How can you crack a placement?
Just to add
And
to
on
that,
a
so
note,
yeah,
yeah,
go
please
ahead.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so whatever you have in your CV or resume, just know that very well. Cram up your CV. You can't write like I know C, I know C++, I know Java, I know HTML, I know all the languages. I mean, just be a master of one. Don't be a jack of all trades. So because as a panelist or anyone who is taking your interview can judge it in like 30 seconds or 1 minute, like whether you know these things or not. So be very adamant of that.
Yeah, and a point to our audience, please take very careful note of all the tips that you're getting right now. And I'm not going to reiterate any points before they already get reiterated. My main advice, and this is a personal, by my personal experience, um, just remember while I said that you sell yourself there, you sell yourself to someone, it's you who they're going to pick. Alongside that, please remember that, just a second, I'm experiencing some difficulty.
So I think I can just take the silence. So okay, Rohan is back. Rohan.
Yeah. Sorry, can you hear me, guys? Yeah, perfect, perfect. So all I was saying was while you sell yourself when you're sitting in that interview, finally you have to remember that this is a very important tip. You drive the interview. You will you will finally sell yourself. You will drive the interview where you want it to go. It is always in your hands, and you can always make a very strong point out of it. And that is I believe, I'm sure a lot of people will back me up. It's one of a successful way to crack an interview. So this is actually a less beautified answer and more direct one for our audience. Thanks.
Yeah, and I think just to add to it, it's a very good opportunity for you guys. You know, you're listening at this stage where you're just entering the college, and like Mandeep also said, it's not that you'll build a CV in a day. It takes years. So just start preparing yourself. It's like you're into the army and you're going for a war. You can't say, okay, I left my gun, I left my armor, or I left something. You need to be prepared. So that ways, when you're going for an interview, actually, if you have to crack it, you need to have all the, necessary equipments which is there in your CV. You can't fake that, okay, you were part of these seminars when you were not. You can't fake, these things when you have not, studied about it. So I think it's a beautiful time and you'll really enjoy. So start preparing on whatever aspects, and I'm sure you are aware about the aspects, whether it is your communication skills, whether it is your internship, whether it is your knowledge related to your subject, whether it is doing anything outside your curriculum. So I think everything is important, and just remember, it will not happen in a day ki raat ko jaise padhai karke subah we go for the exam. It will not happen like that. You need to do it for the next 2 years or 3 years, and then you'll build on a great CV. And then don't worry, just be yourself. Yeah.
Well, we have crossed our appointed time. This has been such a lively discussion, and you all of you have been such lovely people. My only regret is that we are meeting on a two-dimensional world, on the screens that we are seeing in front of each other, and not in person.
Just as a tail ender, sir, if you permit me 10 seconds.
Sure.
Just to clear one doubt that I think everyone has, even we did, that a university or a faculty or a platform can never be the original sum. It can only be a multiplier. And the multiplier has to be multiplied into something which is you. So the more you put in yourself, the result can be multiplied into the times the university is giving you the effort. So therefore, every result will be an answer of what you are into the times whatever is university giving. So that component of university, take it from me, having seen the road or having seen the university for almost 5 years and thereafter another 5 years, it is full on full. Leaving one or two aspects, which of course at that time were more stringent, today they are still lenient. It is full on full. The remaining part is yours, each one of yours. If the result is not good, you need to look at yourself. And like most of my friends said, explore about yourself, then analyze and then act. Remember, explore, analyze, and then act. Thank you.
So that's that's actually a wonderful summary. It's students, this is basically everything is about you. You are your own project. You have been your parents' project until now, but now you are your own project. And look at university as a very large tent under which there are a lot of things. It is for you as if you are walking up into a buffet to pick up what suits you, what you want to eat, what you want to consume, what you want to be. And in India, we have this being versus doing paradox. We are very clear as to what we want to be. We are not that clear about what we want to do. The figure out what you want to do and what you will be a byproduct, and it will be a happy byproduct. With that, let us close this session. We have exceeded our time, but the conversation has been so lively. And let me, on behalf of the North Cap University, let me thank each one of the panelists. But why is North Cap University thanking you? It's your university.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we'll see you in person sometime soon, and we'll interact much more. Thank you
for
all.
organizing this, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Looking forward
Thank
to
you,
it.
sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you
you
all
everyone. All the
for
best.
being with
Bye.
us.
Bye-bye.
And we will close this meeting.